back to the griot. Chicago rapper and activist Vic Mensa is giving back in a powerful way to help some of the most marginalized folk in our society. He is liberating incarcerated people through literature. Vic Mensa created a nonprofit program called Books Before Bars. I love it. And it provides books to prison libraries in Illinois with the hope of providing access to information and mental escape. Vic, the genius behind this idea, joins me now. My brother, it's so good to see you, man. Talk to me about this program, man, Books Before Bars. What made you come up with this?
Man, first of all, I just want to say that I appreciate you for having me on your platform. I am a big believer in and supporter of you always, and I love how you dedicate yourself to the people and spread the message that needs to be heard far and wide, man. So it's a pleasure to be on here with you.
And you, brother.
As far as the Books Before Bars program, that is something that we're doing through my cannabis brand, 93 Boys. So we launched about a year ago in Chicago as the first black-owned cannabis brand in Illinois. And I figured if I'm going to be dealing in something that's been used to steal freedom from so many of us, I've got to be providing freedom in the best ways that I can. And as I was racking my brain, I thought, hey, I send books into the prisons all the time. And I've seen the way the right book at the right time can radically transform somebody's situation. Even if physically they're still incarcerated, they might find mental freedom.
Man, that is so true, man. And it's at a time where they're trying to take books out of the prison. They're trying to take books out of everywhere, but they definitely try to take them out of prisons, man. They don't want us reading, man. So like, is there a certain kind of book or a certain kind of literature that you think it has been more popular or more successful with brothers and sisters who are locked up?
I was blown away to learn how many books are banned. Malcolm X is banned in many prisons. A lot of Huey P. Newton, Angela Davis, so much of the necessary literature of our people is banned because they give the keys to freedom. Basically, if you inspire the people to question their situation, their socioeconomic status, or their 13th Amendment legal slavery, then that book will be banned. The things that we've been sending, though, have included some of those types of titles where they're allowed, then also things like James Baldwin, Afrofuturism like Octavia Butler. One of my favorite books that I've been sending in is a little metaphysics self-help book from 1923 called The Game of Life and How to Play It. And that's similar to like an Eckhart Tolle, things that make you really like question and start to understand spiritual laws, I think are really powerful for any of us, but especially of those of us that are incarcerated.
Man, I love that. And you said all of this is funded under through the proceeds of 93 Boys. Is that right?
Yeah, so 93 Boys, what we do is that a portion of our proceeds goes to community investment. And it's really become a vessel for some of these different civically minded ideas that I have that I was doing through my nonprofit organization before. And now it's like it's given me an opportunity to revive those ideas.
No, that's dope. I love what you're doing, man. I also love that your work extends, of course, not just in Chicago, not just around the country, but really around the globe. I mean, you've been doing work in Africa. Your family, of course, is from Ghana. What's been some of the work you've been doing over there in terms of how you're connecting with the country?
One thing that was of paramount importance to me coming back into Ghana to build structures such as the Black Star Line Festival that I did with my brother Chance this January was to counteract the narrative of extraction. The story has always been that ships arrive on African shores and they take bodies, they take gold, they take diamonds, they take bauxite and coltan for the iPhone. And for us building new things, new structures, I want to make sure that we're providing. So we stepped in and started working on some clean water facilities. My father was already doing that in our village. And so we've kind of just been working to expand those efforts. And I've been collaborating with my pops and his water nonprofit to build structures called a borehole that provides clean water in Ghana.
I'm not shocked because I know who you are, and I know that this is your heart, this is your spirit, and you're just actualizing it, man. But obviously you're doing a lot of work that people in the public eye don't do. You're doing a lot of work that other artists, not just rappers, but people of all genres of culture often don't do. What makes you so committed to giving back at a time where you could just be focusing on making more money, getting more famous, building more empires, etc.?
I think for me, when you know better, you do better. And in a way, I feel that I've been taught by some of the best, and people like Monet, who as well, that I hold very dearly, that have just like honestly raised me in a revolutionary spirit. And so, being that I'm politically educated and revolutionary minded, I can't just stop caring about the welfare of the people. And I think that it gives me another sense of purpose to consistently involve these ideas that are bigger than myself in things that might be more about myself, and I think that it's possible to do well and do good at the same time. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely, man. You are definitely in that tradition of people like the great Harry Belafonte, who just left us and has become an ancestor in that sense that you can do well, you can do good, you can grow as an artist, but you can also help us grow. You mentioned Aja Monet, our sister, our beloved sister, who's a wonderful, brilliant activist and amazing poet.
Aja Monet's album is coming out.
Yes! Yo, the album is coming out. We're going to have her on the show to talk about it. Yo, we got to have her on to talk about it. The three of us, though, we all connected in Palestine.
Yeah.
And got to spend some time. And I know you talk about your time in Palestine as being eye-opening. What was so important about that trip for you?
Man, I just want to say, you such a real one, you know what I'm saying? Because I can't think of like a more, revelatory way to have met you than in that scenario, being in Palestine and, really just seeing your heart. And that's my heart, and that's the heart of Aja Monet. And being in that environment and witnessing firsthand, the occupation and just the human rights violations that the Palestinian people are withstanding and, resisting against, it gave me global context to what we go through. And it lets me know that not only is our struggle as African people of the globe and Black people in America not isolated and it's not in a silo, but we have kinship ties to other marginalized and oppressed communities around this globe. And when we can learn to forge those relationships and learn from each other, such as in Ferguson, there were Palestinian people that were tweeting and, teaching our brothers and sisters in the streets, this is how you deal with tear gas, because we're going through it every day. So use milk, etc. And, it's that collaboration that I just think is of paramount importance to all of our liberation.
And that's the work, man, making those connections globally and locally, exposing injustice and actually working and sacrificing to repair it. That's what you do, man, and that's why we love you, my brother. Everybody, make sure you check out and support everything Vic Mensa does, but also, in particular, tap into Books Before Bars. If you have a loved one that's incarcerated, you can send them their info at the email address that's going to be at the bottom of the screen there. I think you see it right now. Please do it. And take a picture so that you can have it with you. Email at that address, and Vic and his team will send them a selection of books that are curated by his organization, man. Again, my brother, we love you. So good to see you. Keep fighting, man. We're going to wrap soon.